kind of random.
What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and welcome to another Hip Hop Now podcast bonus episode for the producers of this podcast on patreon.com/hiphopnow. It is December 4th, 2020. A very, 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 very special day in hip hop. Very special. A legend was born. On, not 2020, obviously, not 2020, but born on December 4th. No, I'm not talking about Jay-Z's birthday. We'll get to that. I'm talking about Nas's Jay-Z diss record, Ether, was released on December 4th, 2001. Yes, on Jay-Z's birthday. Now, I decided to make this a bonus episode, and I'm not going to hold you very long, just to talk about that. Because in the hip-hop world, right, amongst your peers, on social media, in the Matrix, people still constantly debate who won, right? Takeover or Ether, right? What do people say about the Takeover? It was just one verse on the Takeover that was about Nas. Nas did a whole song. Some people say Jay-Z won because he slept with Nas's baby moms who he wasn't with anymore. And they feel like he won, right? And he made a song about it called Super Ugly. But the majority of people, not the vocal minority, but the majority of people felt like that was whack. But then there's a lot of people who look at Ether and say, well, that beat was whack. Takeover beat was better. There's a lot of people who say it was a bunch of name calling and not really any skill being displayed. In some cases, some people even say, I think Memphis Bleak was saying this, that Ether mostly wasn't true. None of it was true. He said none of it was true. He didn't say mostly. I'm saying mostly. He said none of it was true. This is such a highly debated throughout time. Not even debated. I use that word loosely because I was there in 2001 and the winner was clear and it wasn't just in New York City. But one thing when I go back and I think about this record, or I decide to indulge in the topic, even though I already know the end result because I was there, like you, some of you. I always forget that this record, but this word Ether, but this record that was so devastating to Jay-Z at that moment, that it was dropped on his birthday. Let me set the stage real quick. And just to let you know, I did a whole episode breaking down this entire situation with the homie Tony on our podcast, That Time in Hip Hop. I'll leave the link in the description if you haven't checked it out. And it's brand new for 2020, we did it. But setting the stage for it, I'm setting Jay-Z's stage for it, right? Imagine, right? Nas is Illmatic Nas to most people, even at that point, 2001. Most people, like, it was written. Jay-Z said it was, nah, I don't believe you. You need more people. Oh, stop playing. But Jay-Z was on point. I Am was, yeah, and that was the, yeah. But Nostradamus was the last album before Ether. And Nostradamus was trash. Jay-Z, on the other hand, could not miss. Every single he dropped was a radio hit. He was dropping an album every year, and it was a hit. He was in charge. He was running things in the rap game. And in New York City, he was the man. And Nas was declining, not only to him, but to hip-hop fans. Because Nas's music wasn't good anymore. For the majority of it. Now, I always felt with Nostradamus, and I'll say this, I felt like the album was mostly garbage, but I felt like he still could rap. It's just that the beats and the hooks wasn't good to me, but he still rap. And that's what made him dangerous to me when Jay-Z decided to call him out on Summer Jam, right? And Nas put out a freestyle and Jay-Z thought he had him. Like, oh, you put out your little freestyle? Boom, here's the takeover. That beat, boom, 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 like ROC. You run this, like, it sounds like he's about to roll over Nas, and that is the end of Nas's career. So you wake up in the morning, Jay-Z, right? You're on top of the world. You're more successful than Nas. People saying you killed him. You read his whole career. You know what I'm saying? I could divide, let's say two. Two of them was due. One was nah, and the other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year average, and that's so lame, right? This shit is garbage. What you trying to acknowledge? Like, Jay-Z was in his bag. He was king of the world, king of New York, planting his flag like, I'm in charge. This dude is trash. He's the past. Y'all know this. Bars. But then Ether dropped on Jay-Z's birthday. So that means whether he was asleep, whether he was chilling in the studio, driving, drinking, being happy about being the number one rap dude in the city of New York, let alone the country. And Nas responds with Ether. And everybody in the hip-hop game, for the most part, except for those extreme Jay-Z fans who just didn't want to believe it, everybody kind of turned on Jay-Z. And I think it caught Jay-Z off guard because I'm the one that's hot. I'm the king of New York. I take the mantle from Biggie. Nas is the past. His best album was years ago. Almost 10 years ago at that point, right? How could he possibly beat me? There's nothing he could say. But Ether dropped. You say I'm trying to kick knowledge? Nah, I'm trying to kick the shit you need to learn though. That ether, that shit that make your soul burn slow. Man, listen. Listen. The song was so earth-shattering to hip-hop. To see Jay-Z dragged in such a way you never seen him dragged. That's the key. It's not just what he's saying. Because they could go back bar for bar and bring up great points and leave you like, I don't know who won. But nobody had seen Jay-Z be dragged like that. This is a dude who based his career off of being a king and saying, and I quote, I will not lose. You ever seen a fight where a dude come out and he's menacing and he's doing all the macho stuff to make it seem like he's the killer? And he get popped in the first round by the dude who looked like he's supposed to lose. And he start blinking like, I can't believe what just happened. And then all of a sudden his fight game goes out the window, just everything. He's not even the monster he was when he came in the ring. That was Jay-Z, right? Because we expected Jay-Z to come back like, oh, I know Jay coming back from this. No, he did not. Ether was so bad it took Jay-Z out of his character. He put out a whack reply in Super Ugly. Because it literally was only about trying to say the most grimiest thing to Nas to get him to fight. And as to the people, and Memphis Bleak, you too, that would say, oh, it was just a bunch of lies. I don't know. I think there are things that we could say, like, that are lies, right? Like, or not true, or stretching the truth. Like in 88, you was getting chased to your building, calling my crib, and I ain't even give you my number. Now, I think people mix those lines up because in 88, you was getting chased to your building, right? How we know that's true? How Nas know that's true? So we can go with the that's probably a lie. But the next line wasn't attached to that first one. It was attached to the fact that Jay-Z was calling Nas after he was Nas, but he didn't even give him his number. So he's kind of calling him a groupie, right? Call him my crib and I ain't even give you my number. Which style for you to run with? Smiling in my face, glad to break bread with the God. Listen, Ether was so earth-shattering on Jay-Z's birthday, December 4th, that the fans adopted it as a slang word. And when I say that, sure, you can say, well, Nas fans did that. No. When Nas had quote-unquote beef with Dipset, first thing out Cameron's mouth was, you ain't got no ether for me? Why would he say that? That's an acknowledgement of the record, right? You ain't got a track like that for me? Beat me up next, Nas. Why would years later, when Remy Ma decides she gonna go at Nicki Minaj and they gonna go in a battle, which was one-sided than the mother, Nicki Minaj puts out a record called Sheether. Why would she pick Ether as something to play off of? Because it's an admission that Nas was the winner. But the crazy part, beyond that, forget who's the winner. Forget who's the winner. Who cares? Y'all can argue all day. We was there. Bars. Got a lot of bars today. The thing that stands out, that I always forget, is that it dropped on this man's birthday. You ever got bad news on your birthday? Oh man, I'm about to go to the club. I'm gonna do this. Like, oh, my shorty calling me. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, this. Hold up, son. Yo, it's this side chick. That yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Wait, you pregnant? That's what it was like. I'm not trying to say that side chick getting pregnant is bad news, but to some dudes it is. It messes up your plans. You need to think about things. You need an outlet. There's a thing in battle rap, and I said this on my other podcast. There's a thing in battle rap called getting emotional. And Super Ugly was that. Look at him, emotional. If you watch battle rap, you know what I'm talking about. December 4th, 2001, Jay-Z's birthday. Ether so earth-shattering for Jay-Z. Jay-Z decided, you know what, I'm going to take a vacation. I've been dropping album after album, song after song. I've been running. I'm going on vacation, and voila, Beyonce's my girlfriend also, by the way, since y'all want to call me KZ. This is all facts. It all happened as a result of something that happened on your birthday. Now, I will say this, right? Because I know this comes across as a strictly non-supported. It's not even about that. I'm a hip-hop fan, but I know what happened because I was there on Jay-Z's birthday. I will say this. It didn't finish Jay-Z, and I think that's the important part, right? 50 Cent finished Ja Rule. Ja Rule was hot. And a lot of people like to pretend like he wasn't, but he was hot before 50 Cent started to tarnish his image and career. And he could deny it all he wants, but it's true. Jay-Z ain't gonna be at no Milwaukee Bucks game doing a halftime show, not getting a response from the crowd. That's just, first of all, he ain't doing it. He too big to do that. This is after Ether. So I appreciate the fact that these brothers came back together, became friends, did business together. That's how it's supposed to be. Show us how it's supposed to be. But we hip-hop heads, and we will not forget that on December 4th, 2001, Jay-Z's birthday, Nas dropped one of the best diss records of all time. That's going to do it for me. You can follow me on social media. That's Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Vegas World INC. And please know and subscribe to this podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. It's Jay-Z's birthday. I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.
Drop it on the random.